Hi, everybody. We are Mike and Brenda Baker, and today we're going to be talking about the destructive power of porn.
So, the destructive power of porn. Now, you're expecting me to do most of the talking because, of course, porn's a guy problem. Yes, it is primarily a guy problem, but it goes both directions. There are women who also have that problem. It's interesting because guys, and we've talked about this before, guys tend to show love through physical intimacy. Okay, now women, you may not understand that because you show love through emotional intimacy, but so you literally experience sex and sexual acts differently than we do. Okay, you need all of the emotional intimacy that's attached to that to feel complete in that function. And men, beings that were designed to be very physical, we feel it physically, and that's what fulfills our emotional side, is the physical side. Okay, so keep that in mind when we're talking about this. Yes, it can be primarily a guy problem because guys, this isn't on our list, but I'm going to touch on it right quick. Okay. There are a lot of marriages and remarriages where the first thing that happens when there's a conflict is, and it is primarily the wife, I'm sorry, the wife will pull the sex card. All right, well, none for you. All right, and then they keep that sex card thinking that they're punishing the husband when really they're driving him somewhere else. Okay, now I am by no means making an excuse for men who end up addicted to porn. Okay, I'm not men are grown people. They can make good decisions too. However, what I am saying is that you're causing a stumbling block of sorts by pulling that off the table, because now you've pulled the one thing that he has to show you his love and affection. Believe it or not, it's not all about the orgasm for the guy. Okay, there is a huge sense of fulfillment in being with your wife. Okay, so that brings us into the porn itself. All right, so you got a guy who you don't have a healthy sexual energy or relationship in the house. He's moved to porn, or maybe, and in the wives' cases, it's because they think they're not performing adequately, so they go to porn for that, and that is a horrible, horrible idea.
No.
Talk about set yourself up for failure, all right? So with men and with women, porn literally, and they've shown this scientifically, and a lot of you might balk, I really don't care, okay? I've seen it with soldiers especially. It reshapes the mind. It reshapes the body to respond differently, because then masturbation becomes a problem, and then porn, there's the more that happens, the more porn that happens, the more the body becomes stimulated by that activity and that stimulus. And when they go back to their wives, they don't respond the same, or they don't respond. Okay? So you need to understand that it's a powerful endorphin fueled reset that you don't want. All right, porn, although it might satisfy for a little bit, it will tear you apart, and it will completely separate the marriage. You want to throw something in on that one? So let's roll into number 2 then, how it breaks down the relationship. Okay, look, we have purported plenty of times, that's my big word for the day, by the way, purported. We have purported many times that you need a sexual healthy relationship. Do you want porn to not be an issue in your house? Have a healthy sexual relationship. Okay, why is this so hard? Why is this such a hard concept? Because that's all he wants. He wants to show you love. That's what he's trying to say. It's not just because he wants to be with, well, it is because he wants to be with you, but it's not just because he wants to be with you. It's because he adores you. It's because he loves you. It's because you're his wife. Okay, why are you holding out? But that goes the other way too, guys. You can't just chase your wife around thinking that's all she's good for. Have I met men like that? Of course I've met men like that, all right? I mean, these are things that we've had to figure out too. I mean, unfortunately for my wife, to be perfectly honest, I have a pretty high sex drive.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's unfortunate.
What?
A lot of women think it's unfortunate. So, and yeah, as I've gotten older, I just turned 50 on Mother's Day. And as I've gotten older, I've had my challenges in that area too, but I still, for the most part, have a pretty high sex drive. So porn never factored in. Why? Why did porn not factor in? Now, I did view porn when I was younger, and porn was an issue for me. I chose to stop, okay? I also chose to save that part of my anatomy only for my wife, which means I stopped all extracurricular activity in that area, and I'll let you figure that out. Okay, not having an affair, not sleeping with other women. Okay, the whole point is that was my choice. Now, for you men who are thinking, man, I don't think I can do that, baloney. You contact me directly, and I will put you in contact with people who can help you through that. Okay, so for you women, though, I'm sorry, but if you are holding the sex card, you are wrong. Unless you are abused, and we're not talking about that here. We're talking about a regular sexual relationship. If you're holding it, well, Mike, I just don't enjoy it. Well, why don't you guys get together and communicate, and maybe then you would start. Okay, there is the communication's not happening. There are things that are not happening.
Ladies, if you're having a lower libido, there are lots of natural things that you can do for that. You don't have to go on hormone replacement, contrary to what a lot of doctors will tell you. Maca is a really good one. There's lots of libido formulas for women that are effective. You just have to find the right one for you. So if you're dealing with lower libido, please make sure that you are doing your part and making sure you're honoring your husband and fixing that issue. It is fixable. Sometimes it's harder than others to figure out what it is you need and what you're lacking, and especially in the 40s, sometimes I've known women that have a lot less libido than they thought they would, and that can be very frustrating. So just make sure that you're doing your part and getting the things that you need for your body to do that.
Right. So to answer the question, how does it break down the relationship? Well, you've got a guy who is reprogramming his body, but not necessarily intentionally, and you're not getting what you want from everything, as the wife. And what do you think happens? It begins to do this. Okay, and it tears the relationship right in half. Anybody who tells you don't need sex in your relationship is full of crap.
Yeah.
Absolutely full of crap. Run the other direction. Listen to no more of what they say. If they tell you it is not a necessary part of your relationship, run screaming the other direction. Which brings us to number 3. We're going to talk about relearning how to fantasize. Now, the first 2 things dealt with porn pretty directly. This is one thing, and this is one thing I really want to hit home with the guys for, because it's guys who primarily have this issue. Women don't fantasize to the same level men do, okay? But remember, men are physically minded. It's how we were built. It's how we were designed. It doesn't make us perverts. It doesn't make us weird. That is how God made us. So with that, because of my porn usage when I was younger, I fantasized, okay? What did I do? Let me tell you, religious people, that nowhere in the Bible does it say that you cannot fantasize about your wife. It says don't fantasize about other women. Okay, now let that sink in. Turn those fantasies that you're currently having, rather than trying to stop something like that, you're setting yourself up and to drive yourself right back to porn. Okay, because now you're trying to deny something that's pretty natural for your body and your mind to do. And instead, slip your wife into that fantasy. It's not that hard. Every time you catch yourself fantasizing about another woman, it takes 2 seconds to replace that woman with your wife. And there is no sin and no wrong in fantasizing about your wife. And believe it or not, long term, that kind of comes full circle within the sexual relationship, because the more you fantasize about your wife, the more you will unknowingly cherish her and spend time with her and be more accepting of what she needs. It's just a natural process.
Now, another thing, ladies, that I want to talk to you about is you need to have open communication with your husband. If he has viewed porn, there's going to be a lot of things that he wants you to do. You may or may not be comfortable with those things, and you need to have an ability to just say no, or okay, we can try X, Y, or Z, but and guys, you've got to listen up. Because if your wife is being adventurous with you, and you need to listen, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Which simply means that don't pout like a stinking baby if she doesn't want to do something, all right? She's not required to do everything with you.
Yeah.
But ladies, that doesn't mean that that you don't ever do anything.
Right.
All right? You want a good dude to get bored fast? Well, we have sex. We have sex all the time. Okay, but if you just... Quite honestly, if you just lay there, that's not sex.
No.
Okay? It's not.
No.
So men, you need to step up in respect for your wife. Drop the porn. change your fantasy, okay, and quit tearing your relationship apart. Ladies, you need to quit using sex as a card. You need to throw that card away and realize that there are other issues, all right? And I think Brenda would agree, be more adventurous.
Yes.
All right? And dudes, don't press it. Give her, if she's not super adventurous to begin with, give her time. Because you don't just change that overnight. It could take a couple of years. But let me tell you, after that couple of years, it's worth the working through.
So if you need specific advice from either Mike or I, both of our things are down below. You can contact us directly. Apparently today I can't talk. And it's really important that you do get your questions answered. And so we hope that you'll contact us if you need something. And with that, we want to just thank you again for being with us today. We hope that this helped you, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye.